Welcome to Land of the Bible. I'm your host, David Sussman. This week, we're going to learn about Israel's Holocaust memorial, Yad Vashem. In the heart of Israel's capital, Jerusalem, stands a place of memory, mourning, and resilience, Yad Vashem, the official Holocaust memorial and museum here in Israel. More than just a collection of artifacts, this institution is a testament to the strength of the human spirit and to the commitment to never forget. Built from the ashes of the past, Yad Vashem is a culmination of decades of research, survivor testimonies, and worldwide efforts to document the Holocaust and its lasting impact. Every exhibit, every name recorded, and every story told ensures that the horrors of the past are never erased from history. But Yad Vashem is more than a museum. It's a bridge between history and the future, an unyielding commitment to remembrance, education, and the fight against hatred in all its forms. I'm David Sussman, and in this episode of Land of the Bible, we'll explore how Yad Vashem was conceived, built, and continues to evolve, ensuring that the voices of those who were murdered and those who survived will never be forgotten. Join me as we walk through history and honor the stories of resilience and remembrance.
We're in the Museum of the History of the Holocaust, which might actually be the most identifiable building here on campus. It's a must-see for everybody who's coming to Israel. Not just for tourists, not just for families and tour groups that come, but also for heads of state and diplomats that come and they tour this museum. Several weeks ago, we had the U.S. Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, came right where I'm standing. He took part in a memorial service.
I'm Malki Weisberg, and I work here in Yad Vashem. Yad Vashem, which means so much to me, especially as I am a second generation. My parents were both Holocaust survivors. This museum is a memorial to the 6 million. It is their voice, which can no longer be heard, and it is their memories that we strive to keep alive. When I come into this museum, I feel the feeling of having to remember. We must remember. We must keep the memories alive, which is something Yad Vashem does. Now, the museum begins with the life before. There's a beautiful film which shows footage that people took before the war. Family life, traditions, customs, children playing, families laughing. In order to understand the magnitude of what we, the Jewish people, lost, you have to understand what they had before. When 1/3 of the population is missing their loved ones, they want a place to remember them. Europe, it was a cemetery without graves. They had no grave to visit, no place to say the Jewish prayer for the dead. Yad Vashem started very small, but it started with the will of survivors to preserve the memories, to preserve the names, to preserve the people that they loved and watched be killed, be murdered. Children, women, elderly, men, every Jew was a target. In this fabulous museum, and I call it fabulous because it has so much information and knowledge and pictures and artifacts and things that we have collected that people wanted to remember. And by showing you an artifact of a baby shoe or a comb that someone was able to smuggle into a camp just to still feel human, then here it's going to be. And it is a testament to the courage. It's a testament to the faith of the Jewish people, because they know that there will always be a Jewish people. And this museum is a testimony to that. We remember our past in order to build our future.
Those who come, they can walk through the hall here, and they could follow the chronology of what led to the Holocaust and then the years of World War II itself.
It starts with the rise of anti-Semitism. And in the museum, we have gaps that introduce each gallery. The rise of anti-Semitism is introduced by textbooks from a college, from a university in Berlin. There was an evening that the propaganda machine in Nazi Germany organized a book burning. Now, what were these books? Were they Jewish scriptures? Were they the Bible? Were they prayer books? Not at all. These were university textbooks, either written by a Jew, about the Jews, or about socialism or communism that the Nazis claimed the Jews discovered. 24,000 books were burnt that night, and I can assure you some of those students used some of those books when they were in the university. And that evening that they had this gleeful book burning in Berlin, they were burning to erase anything that the Jewish people gave to this world.
It takes you through the concentration camps. It takes you through the ghettos. You can see artifacts and hear stories and videos about the 6 million Jews who perished, who were murdered by the Nazis and their collaborators. And this is a foundation, one of the core missions that we do at Yad Vashem, the commemoration. But on top of that, we have entire centers that are dedicated to collections, to documentations, to research, to education, to reaching out to the public, not just in Israel, around the world, and making sure that the work that we're doing here reaches as broad a scope as possible to reach as many people.
I myself had parents who were Holocaust survivors, who were engaged during the war. They lost each other for about 4.5 years, both having amazing stories of survival. But what my parents taught me was the fact that they were reunited and could build a family, a home. My parents were communal leaders, my father a rabbi, and they built community, a community where they used to speak about strength, faith, and courage. People who lost their entire families were able to speak about strength, faith, and courage. That's what they gave me, the next generation. And that's why when I enter Yad Vashem and I hear the stories, not only of my parents, but of so many Holocaust survivors, and I hear about their strength, conviction, courage, faith, it gives me the will to be a stronger person, to be a stronger Jew.
Imagine walking where Jesus walked, where faith comes to life. Feel the Bible story unfold around you, from the green Galilee to Jerusalem's ancient streets. Experience the serene and welcoming land of the Bible, where miracles happen. Put your heart where His footsteps are. Visit Israel.
In 1963, I was a little girl, and my mother, who was a Holocaust survivor, had a dream to travel and see the land of Israel. She took me, her baby, and one of the places that she visited was Yad Vashem. And she heard about the testimony page idea there, and she said, well, I'm going to write testimony pages for my entire family because my mother was left with no one. Not sisters, not brothers, not parents. And at that time, she was given a pencil and a paper to write down all the information. Fast forward 2025, everyone can fill out a testimony page online.
One of the most iconic rooms in the museum is the Hall of Names right here behind me. You could see the pictures of many of the victims, and also it's lined with millions of pages of testimony. Now, the pages of testimony are documents that were signed at first by hand. This could be from relatives, neighbors, people from their town talking about victims of the Holocaust, their names, their families, their addresses. For example, you can have a neighbor who filled out a page of testimony about a family who lived down the street from them, but they don't remember all the names of all the children. So for many years, those pages of testimony had a gap in them. And part of the work that we're doing now in Yad Vashem is collaborating. One of our new collaborations is in Poland, for example, and we're getting previously undisclosed access to archives from different towns throughout Poland. And in that way, we've already been able to find some of those puzzle pieces, some of those gaps, get the names of children, adults, who perished during the Holocaust. And for the first time ever, we're going to be able to add them to the book of names that we have.
We will make sure that the testimonies will be recorded, remembered, preserved. And if it's an artifact, we will make sure that they are preserved. We will make sure that they will tell the story.
Now, outside of the museum, there are other spots like the Book of Names. We have an art museum that shows the artwork of Holocaust-era, Holocaust-related pieces of art. At the entrance to the art museum, on the wall, when you walk inside the door, there's a quote from a Polish artist. She perished during the Holocaust, but in her last will and testament, she mentions that she bequeaths her artwork to the Jewish museum that will be founded after the Holocaust, after World War II. And at the time, she didn't know about Yad Vashem. She didn't even know about a Jewish state of Israel. She just said that the Jewish museum that will be formed after the Holocaust, I want my artwork to be sent there. A main challenge right now that we're facing here at Yad Vashem is making sure that we can attract new audiences and also attract people, visitors who have been here before, maybe a decade ago, to come and see all the new things that we're doing. If you walk out of the museum and down the path, you'll come to a brand new theater that we just opened up, which has 4 monodramas, one-man shows. And this is a new way for us to engage and to draw in new audiences, younger visitors to come in and hear the new ways that we are telling the stories. Let's go see one of our new experiences here at Yad Vashem. I'll take you there now. So one of the challenges, one of our aims at Yad Vashem is find new ways to tell stories and connect to new visitors and a younger generation. And part of that is finding new ways to tell stories. And what you're seeing here, right all around me, is a brand new light and sound experience, immersive, audiovisual, state-of-the-art. And it tells the story of the Jewish communities in North Africa and throughout Europe that flourished, that grew since the destruction of the Second Temple in Jerusalem. The whole story of the diaspora up until the eve of the Holocaust. And in order to make it a little bit more accessible and a new way to tell a story, together with the European Union, who actually funded this project, we have seating here for over 200 people. In the evening they can come, and up on the bedrock, on the boulders, is about a 30-minute animated show that tells the history of the Jewish communities in Europe and North Africa up until the eve of the Holocaust. From the destruction of the Second Temple in Jerusalem and all the diaspora tells the story of the culture and the impact and the contribution and how they flourished up until the rise of the Nazis in World War II. Since the story that's told in this experience goes up until the eve of the Holocaust without the death and the tragedy and the horrors of the Holocaust itself, this experience here, this light and sound show, is more appropriate for families and younger visitors as well, and it's another way for us to connect to the younger generation and to get them to come and experience Yad Vashem.
In 1953, when Yad Vashem was first established, many initiatives were brought forward to see how they could remember best those 6 million Jews that were lost. And one example is the Valley of the Communities.
The Valley of the Communities give us the memory of 5,000 Jewish communities that are no longer. The communities that we see here represent family life, tradition, customs, love, arguments, regular life. And the Jewish people always gain their strength from their communities. When we pray with a group of 10 people. When we have any kind of holiday, we do it together with our families, we do it together with friends. We are a people that work together. And the Jewish community has the word unity in it, not just by chance, because that's what keeps us strong. The Valley of the Communities was a dream of survivors to build a place where their communities can be remembered. Yad Vashem works so hard to make sure the memories stay alive. When you hear of stories of different towns, of different villages, of different cities from survivors, or already from the next generations, it brings a smile to people's faces. It gives them a feeling that the past is no longer, but we build on it. We build on that past to create new communities, to create new groups of Jewish people who together find the strength that they had in their own communities back in Europe. We have here, as we said, 5,000 destroyed communities memorialized. Their names are etched in stone so that we will never, ever forget them. We have tunes, we have melodies, we have writings, we have poetry. We have so much that gives us a feeling of warmth and a feeling of strength.
I will bless those who bless you, God promised Abraham. Embrace this covenant by connecting with the people of Israel. From Jerusalem's stones to Galilee's shores, experience living faith through their traditions and hospitality. Your journey is more than visiting biblical sites. It's about hearts that welcome your friendship. Your presence matters. Discover Israel.
We have a brand new collection center which goes underground and which stores thousands of artifacts and hundreds of thousands of documents. We have a laboratory that conserves and restores some of the lost artifacts and documents.
And we now have a building that goes 4 stories underground. It's a vault with the most precious art, artifacts, documentation, and things that keep the Holocaust memories alive. And we keep it in a building where the laboratories are behind glass so that the world can see, the world can experience, because we are going to preserve that doll of a little girl, that diary of a teenager, and anything that someone has from their mother when their mother was taken from them brutally.
I'm working at Yad Vashem 16 years. I'm also a convert. I'm myself, I came here and I came to Israel. And I think that for me, this is more than a job. It's like I know that I can be part of something amazing, something bigger. I know that when I grew up in Romania, I didn't know so much about the Holocaust, and I didn't know about what happened there and about the history of the Jewish people and nothing. And I realized that I can be part of that. I can be part of showing everyone what really happened for this not to happen again. All the people, most of the people that are working here in Yad Vashem are people who want to give back, and they have like a, like a calling, I would say. One of the most important things that people don't know about here at Yad Vashem happens here in the collection center. This building was built to be like an underground vault, and we have a project that is called Gathering the Fragments, where people are, they know that they can come here and give us the things that they want to keep forever. Documents, diaries, pictures, they'll come to digitization. And here we are trying to show the things as they are and to interfere as less as possible. I think that in a few years from now, this is all that we're gonna have, okay? So it's very, very important, and people don't understand the value behind what they have home, even if it's a picture of their grandmother or someone from the family, how important it is, because keeping these important things in not so good conditions, in a few years there's nothing left. We're working very, very, very hard to preserve, and we know that this is the future. People have the opportunity today everywhere in the world to open the internet, and they will see, if they really want, they will see everything they need.
I started working in Yad Vashem in 1999. My expertise are mainly documents, all the collections that are on paper. That means it's artwork on paper, it's books, it's documents. It's something of the history. You need to keep it. I'm second generation. My mother is a Holocaust survivor, so it's very important for me. It's something that goes with the history of the Jewish people. Most of the stuff is Yiddish, German, and Polish and stuff like that. Forget a poster, and it has a tear. It can take me one day to read it. But if I get a small siddur, I need to take it apart because the connections is with the staples. It's all rusted. I have to take them off, clean it up, then sew it together. So it's a whole different. No file is like the other. Everything is as Forrest Gump said, it's a box of chocolates and you get a surprise. So every new file is a surprise. 4 or 5 years ago, I got 2 notebooks. They were written in Switzerland. Orphans from an orphanage wrote the book for their instructor, for their carer. She was 18. They were something between 5 to 16, so that she wasn't much older than them. But because of the situation, she was their mother. And so she taught them how to clean the dishes, how to clean their clothes, and how to do their bed, everything that the parent will do for their kids. And so they made this book, everything they were taught. And it's a beautiful, it's amazing because it's like almost like a pop-up. They have like a siddur, you have like a Torah, then it opens up and you have there, and then you have all kinds of stuff. It's amazing. So that was a lot of fun because also it's a very nice subject. So working on the ground plans of Auschwitz was a lot of satisfaction. Treating it, knowing that I'm the second generation of a survivor. that the Nazis were defeated. It's a lot of satisfaction.
This archival center is amazing and can be visited by the public.
A lot of the work that we do at Yad Vashem is this outreach to communities. We go to people's houses, survivors, second generation, to collect whatever might remain as the number of living survivors is dwindling. We need new ways to tell their stories, to remind future generations of what they went through, of their communities. We're going out and we are gathering photo albums, documents, and in that way we hope to continue to tell the story and to remember and commemorate all the tragedies.
The caves of Beit Guvrin whisper the stories of those who lived, worked, and took refuge beneath the hills of Judea. Every tunnel and chamber reveals another chapter of history, from ancient civilizations to modern discoveries. Thank you for joining us, and make sure to join us next time as we connect you to the people, places, and land of the Bible.